So let's practice drawing a box plot. So again, basically the reason you would use a box plot is because you gathered a bunch of data and you wanted to see how far spread out it was. You wanted to display it in some way other than just the big list of data. And a box plot is a really great way to display that. It's a great way to tell people information. It tells us something called skew about a graph. It tells us, you know, if all the data kind of goes to the right or all the data kind of goes to the left. So this is actually a really important thing. It also helps us find outliers, which we'll look at later. But a box plot is used when you gather a bunch of data. So say you ask all of your friends, I was going to say how many siblings, but this data we have here would be not very close to sibling data. How many pairs of shoes they own, and they're all boys because this is not very many pairs of shoes. So you ask all your friends, how many pairs of shoes do you own? And you want to figure out what the, you know, the median is, or the average number, and you know, how far spread out the data is. So we're going to find the 5-number summary first, and then we're going to use that to draw a box plot. So our minimum is 6. Our maximum is 13. Our median, let's see, is 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. So we have the same number on either side, which means 10 is our perfect middle. And then we're going to split it to find our quartiles. We split it in half. Remember, top half and bottom half. And since 10 is a middle number, it doesn't count for either the top or the bottom. So we look for the middle number here, and we get 7. And 7 are our middle numbers there. And then 11 and 13 are our middle numbers here. So how do we average 7? Well, you might be able to figure this out, that our quartile 1 is just 7. But if you don't, you can just add them together. 7 plus 7 is 14. Divided by 2 is 7. Because that's the middle number exactly in between 7 and 7 is 7. Okay, I'm going to say 7 one more time, and then it'll just start sounding weird, right? And what's the number right in between 11 and 13? Well, it's 12. But you could have added them together and figured that out. So here we go. Now we have this data, and let's see if we can draw a box plot. I think we might have space right here to do it. So we're going to draw a box plot, and we're going to label our axis, and we're going to start at 5, and we're going to go to 14 just so that we're a little bit bigger. So we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, nope, I'm going to have to make those bigger. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Perfect. So we label our axis so that everybody knows what the numbers are. And now we make a box. Remember, the box is going to go from quartile 1 to quartile 3. So the box is going to extend from quartile 1 to quartile 3. So that goes from here to 12. And we're going to have a line for our median at 10. And then the whiskers extend out to the left and the right all the way to the minimum and to the maximum. And so again, your whiskers can look like this. In fact, in a lot of stuff we'll see they'd look like that, or they can be dots, it doesn't matter. But then this is our box plot. That's it. And this, somebody could look at this and could get a lot of information out of this that is simpler to read than just reading this 5-number summary. So let's do this one. Our minimum is 1 and our maximum is 19. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So our 6th piece of data is going to be our middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our median is 10. Right? Our median is 10. We have our minimum and maximum. And then we're going to split it in half. And remember, since we have a median number, it doesn't go with top or bottom. And then we look for the middle number in the top and the middle number in the bottom. Well, the middle number in the bottom is 5, so quartile 1 is 5. And the middle number in the top is 11, so quartile 3 is 11. And now we can draw a box plot. So we're going to go from 0 to 19. I mean, not to 19, to 20. So halfway in between is 10, and then halfway in between that is 15 and 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19. Perfect. So here's our box plot. or not our box plot, this is our axis for our box plot. And to draw our actual box plot, we draw a box from the quartile 1 to quartile 3. So from 5 to 11. That's going to be our box. And then we have a line at our median of 10. And then we're going to have our whiskers go all the way to our minimum, which is 1. And our maximum, which is 19. And so this box plot, you might notice, isn't very symmetrical, and this is just something that people use to pay attention. They can see that this has a skew, and that tells them information about the data, that tells them that there's maybe more, you know, that this data is more spread out from here than it is to here. So it's just interesting to be able to use the box plot to graph data. So we're going to do this one. Our minimum is 3 and our maximum is 15. Our median we get to 8 and 9, so our median is going to be 8.5 because that's halfway in between those two. And then since we didn't have a middle number, we can go ahead and split these top half and bottom half, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in each, which means our fourth number, 1, 2, 3, 4, is going to be the middle of each of those. So our quartile 1 is 7 and our quartile 3 is 9. So now we can just draw our box plot. We're going to go from 2 to 16. So let's go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, I had to squish it a little bit. So you might want to plan a little bit better than me, but try to get them as even as you can. All right, and then we're just going to draw the box plot. So remember, we draw a box from quartile 1 to quartile 3. So this is actually going to have a really small one. So through 2, 3, 4, 5, we'll say 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So from 7 to 9, we're going to have a box, and our median is going to be at 8.5. So that's going to be right here. And then we're going to go out, our whiskers are going to go out here and out here. So again, this one tells us quite a bit of information about it. It tells us that we have this tiny little box in the middle and then these huge long whiskers, which tells us that a lot of the data is probably concentrated right there in the middle of it. And then we have just a few like ones that are spread out, and you can look at that and see that. You know, we have so many 8s and 9s right in the middle, and then it just spreads way out one way and way out the other way.